dairy. Joining us now to talk about the Democratic race is Clinton's National Press Secretary, Brian Fallon. Not Jimmy Fallon, but Brian Fallon.
Hey, guys.
One time when I'd rather see a different
much
Fallon.
Funnier.
Yeah, that's very true. Let me ask you a question. Today there's a lot of back and forth between Secretary Clinton and Senator Sanders over progressivism. Okay, Senator Sanders says he's a progressive. Hillary Clinton only is some of the time. She says she's a progressive who gets things done. Would Hillary Clinton call herself a liberal?
Well, I think in the last few years you've seen Democrats really rally around the term progressive to define their commitment to working class.
What's the difference between being a progressive and being a liberal?
I'm not sure.
Right.
But I think that Republicans have tried to turn liberal into a dirty word.
Right.
But I think progressive is a term that Democrats pretty proudly wear.
Yeah, because it's pretty much it's become an anodyne term that doesn't mean very much. So is Secretary Clinton a liberal or not?
I think she's a progressive who gets results.
Okay.
I think that you are asking me because you want the RNC to clip this.
Well, no, I don't want the RNC to do anything. I'm asking you because I think Senator Sanders would happily call himself a liberal, and I'm just curious. And yeah, I think he would say a lot of the policies he advances are liberal policies, and so I'm curious whether Secretary Clinton would call herself a liberal too.
Well, we like the term progressive.
Okay.
What is something Senator Sanders is doing now in terms of how he's conducting his campaign that you think should be getting more scrutiny and he should be held more accountable for?
Well, I think it's appropriate and fair that in the last 2 to 3 weeks we've seen the scrutiny on him increase. And that's appropriate given that, you know, he's on pace right now to win the New Hampshire primary. He's a viable contender for this nomination.
Is there something that you would say the press should really be talking more and looking more into?
I do think that I was surprised, this is getting into the weeds, but I was surprised that for so many months there were so few news organizations that traveled with him regularly. We've had a beat with a traveling press corps with us since April, and I do think that there's a level of scrutiny that comes with having reporters, a pack of journalists traveling day in and day out.
It's a good point. I think he will get more scrutiny because of that. But is there anything he's said or done in the last week that you think people should be held more accountable or not?
I think so. I think his healthcare plan. You know, he put it out on the eve of the debate, literally 2 hours before the debate. And it's starting to get some scrutiny, but there's a lot of populations that actually would do worse under his plan.
Like what groups?
Like working seniors. You would not improve your health care coverage situation that much, but you will end up paying more in taxes. And there's an independent study that came out a week ago that proves that. And that's true for other populations as well. You have folks that right now are fully subsidized in the exchanges. They would not gain much under Senator Sanders' universal health care plan because pretty good coverage right now under the ACA, but they would pay 9% more in taxes. And
but they wouldn't pay any premiums.
Yeah, but right now they don't because right now their health care costs are almost fully subsidized based on the fact that for low-income folks they get those subsidies in the exchanges. So, but they would get socked with the tax increase. So, and that's true for a bunch of different populations. And that's the reason is because the Affordable Care Act was nothing to sneeze at. It actually did deliver health care for millions of people that didn't have it. Senator Sanders sort of sidesteps that issue when he touts his Bernie Care proposal.
Right, you would deny that New Hampshire is a hospitable state, right? It's a hospitable
state. It's a neighborly state, and that's why they've been so kind to their
you know that New
next
York
door neighbor,
almost borders
Bernie Sanders.
on New Hampshire.
No, but
I'm sorry?
New York almost borders on New Hampshire.
But this is a state that's been pretty good to the Clintons over the years, right?
That's true.
2009, back in 1992, good to Bill Clinton.
That's true. 2008, the last dog dies.
2008, really good to Hillary Clinton. She came here, did very well here. How is it plausible that we should not basically consider this an even contest, given the Clintons' history in the state? Senator Sanders is a neighboring state senator, no doubt, but you guys like to kind of dismiss his lead as being the product of that neighborly state. I would say, you know, the Clintons have a lot of allies here, deep roots here. Why are they not? Shouldn't they be evenly matched?
Well, I mean, Senator Sanders' lead has been pretty consistent in New Hampshire.
I agree.
There was a period.
Well, some polls showed it 30, so it's not been that consistent.
There was a period after October, after the first Democratic debate and the Benghazi hearing, where you saw Hillary Clinton jump in front. But then it reset to what it was over the summer. So Senator Sanders' lead here has been pretty consistent.
What other factors?
I think
what accounts for that, right?
What other factors besides the fact that Vermont borders New Hampshire would you attribute his lead to, or simply to that?
That's not a small factor. I mean,
is that the only reason he's got a lead?
It's not just because geographically Vermont is next to New Hampshire. He's a known quantity here.
There really are not a lot of media markets.
The Burlington media market bleeds into the western half of the state.
Yeah, you know,
there are a lot of labor breakfasts over the course of a 20 year.
I'll say again, why else is he leading in this state besides the fact that he's from next door, or do you just attribute it to that?
People have warm feelings about him here. They know.
Does it have anything to do with his issue positions?
Maybe it does.
Maybe it does.
But Brian, you'd acknowledge.
But I'd also say, Mark, that as is the case in the Democratic primary in general, Hillary Clinton has been the subject of attacks from Republicans who have been campaigning in New Hampshire for the last several months. They come in here, and what is the stump that they give that's generating headlines on the union
leader?
leader?
They're going to do that in South Carolina and other states too.
It's attacking Hillary Clinton, and so.
But they're doing that.
Bernie Sanders,
do that when they go to
like
South
we were
Carolina
just saying,
too.
Bernie Sanders for the last 2 to 3 weeks has largely not come under the same scrutiny.
Right.
So the negatives on him have not been explored.
But Brian, when you say that Bernie Sanders is a known quantity here, are you trying to suggest somehow that Hillary Clinton is not a known quantity in New Hampshire?
No, but I just mean
most famous woman in American politics.
Over the course of 20 years, there's a lot of good feelings and goodwill generated by coming over the border, attending a labor breakfast on a Labor Day.
And by winning the New Hampshire primary by her in 2008, a lot of good feelings generated by that too.
Sure, but our point, there is certainly a great deal of affection for Hillary Clinton here.
Yeah, good.
But there's warm feelings to Senator Sanders, and he's consistently led. So all of our point is in the final week, people should not be surprised if he pulls this out, given the strong support he showed throughout the campaign.
Let me do a little expectation setting here just for next Tuesday. Last time in 2008 when she ran and won the New Hampshire primary, she got 112,404 votes. On Tuesday night, should we expect to see her get at least that many votes?
I don't know. I don't have a turnout projection for you. I saw that the state party chairman, Ray Buckley, who knows his state pretty well, is projecting a high turnout, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Who's got more momentum in this race now, Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders?
I think we have a lot of momentum.
Who has more?
Us.
You have more?
Yeah.
Where are you seeing that?
Well, I think that he really needed to win both of these two states to change the fundamental trajectory of the race. And I think that our win on Monday, especially in a high turnout caucus like we had, actually deprives him of a path going forward, because it will be hard to see, if he couldn't win in Iowa, how he's going to win those caucus states in March to the degree he needs to amass the delegates, because this is fundamentally a delegate contest.
Is there a difference for her candidacy going forward if she loses this primary by a little versus by a lot?
I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. I think that we are going to mount a competitive fight here over the last 7 days. I've seen some of the polls that have us down by 30. I think that we have a chance to eat into that margin.
Maybe less than 30.
And have
maybe a huge victory.
And have a good showing.
It's only by 22. Has
Senator Sanders become a better debater over the course of this campaign, do you think?
Sure. That's to be expected. We've done 4 of them now.
And how do you think the dynamic will be different over the next 3 nights as they appear at the same events without Martin O'Malley on the stage?
Well, I think that what we'll probably see is what's been true out on the trail, which is that Senator Sanders will probably be more honed in his lines of criticism against her, and probably, unfortunately, veer more into the territory of personal
They're still
attack.
close friends, right?
They have a good working relationship from their time in the Senate, mutual respect. We don't want to see that eroded, though. As Senator Sanders' campaign has started to fare better, I think that their eyes are getting big, and they're starting to get into the chippy back and forth that he said he wouldn't do. Right. This comment yesterday that he made to Casey Hunt, where he suggested that Hillary Clinton is progressive some days. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the comment he made to you guys, or his campaign leadership made to you guys, when he said that they'd consider her for vice president. It was a diminishing comment. It was a demeaning comment, and it bespeaks a sort of...
It was kind of there paying her a compliment. That's a pretty good job, Vice President.
It bespeaks a sort of condescension. It bespeaks a condescension that I don't think it will wear well if he continues to mouth it.
Just yes or no on this one question. Does Hillary Clinton think being a socialist is disqualifying to be president of the United States?
A lot of Democrats do.
Does Hillary Clinton?
We'll see.
We'll see. She doesn't know the answer to that yet? Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right, Brian.
The Republicans are certainly rooting for him, so they must be wise to something.
All right, Brian. Fallon, that was really an awesome